tonight on Garage Time, we are continuing with our Samba conversion. So we've bought the kit, we're changing our 13 into a 21 window. We've got the rough opening cut, but now we got to do all the cleaning up of the rain gutters, removing the extra bit of metals, doing our final cut. So yeah, let's go ahead and start cleaning her up, cutting up more metal. Tonight we're continuing on removing metal. So the rough opening is open for our conversion. However, we got to continue on and clean up the metal here on the side. So if you remember, we left the width of our ruler just over an inch of roof here on the side that goes down into our drip rail. And then they talk about a hat channel, which it kind of looks like a top hat, but it's spot welded along here and in your rain gutter. So right here where the camera is showing you right now is within the cargo door opening. So Grumpy Metals talks about using an air hammer to free the channel. However, they don't recommend it in the opening because you don't want to do any damage to this because it's not supported underneath with windows like the other side or the back of the bus. So what they're suggesting is grind along here until you free up those welds, and then this should break free. They also suggest cutting it in smaller sections so that it's easier to work with. So we're going to go ahead and start grinding and cleaning that up now. All right, so we've gone ahead, we've done a few steps here. Now we're not filming every detail because this series would take, well, it would take a lot of man hours and a lot of YouTube time and a lot of editing. So we skipped a few steps, but what we did, the cross member needed to be removed. It's a fairly simple process using an air chisel. So as we mentioned, straightened it out before we went ahead and removed it. So it's all straightened with a dollar and hammer, grinded down the rough spots where we ripped off the rivets, took our air chisel, both sides, and removed this. Now, again, remember to keep in a safe place because you will be using it later. Next, you can see in the channel here, we did go along and grind. Now, we haven't gone back further, but we'll get into a detail, or we'll explain that in a bit. But what we've done is the part we see, we've grinded both sides, and you can see I did cut it into smaller chunks the best I could with the cutting disc I have, and that's why I went on an angle. I didn't want to cut obviously here or here, my rain gutter or my inner lip. So I didn't get right through, but ow, should have my gloves on. There's a section removed. So you can see still need to do some grinding there and here to clean it up. And then we'll obviously clean up this to weld to. But this is your hat channel, which you are cutting off and removing. So here's a progress shot. You can see our drip rail is still intact. Our inner rail is still here. Top hat section in the middle has been removed, and that last inch of material has also been removed. So this isn't done yet. We're still gonna have to grind and clean that down. And then we're gonna grind this whole area to get a nice clean metal surface for welding the new roof to. So tonight on Garage Time, we continue on with removing more metal. It's a multi-day process because we don't get a lot of time out here working all at once. So we got to do small bits here and there. But tonight what we're doing is getting ready to do our final cut on the front. So we have our nifty scribe tool that came in the kit. So here's the scribe tool. So it slides in until it's touching on the back on your support brace. You can see the scribe is touching, and you scratch it along, and you can see our scratch mark all the way along. So we've done that around. This is your final cut line. You want that to be very clean. Okay, so what we did is we strapped on our strap and we went along with our scribe and made sure that we're exactly the distance we need it to be. This line is, well, it's critical. It's your final cut line. It's exactly where you want the main front piece to go. So took our Sharpie, drew a line, and we're gonna cut along that line. Now, decided because I like the idea of using my shears for a nice clean cut, but to get my shears in, I have to use a big cutting wheel, or a grinding wheel actually, and it causes a lot of heat, causes a lot of, I don't like the cut you get from a grinding wheel, so I am going to use a cutting wheel the whole way along on our grinder. So very thin, nice cutting wheel. And then after, we'll have to file the edge it creates. So the new piece, because the new piece has a lip, it will slide right underneath. So we'll go ahead, get this cut. Once we have the main cut all the way across, we're actually going to end up cutting this in slices because this is spot riveted to your support brace. So again, do it in smaller sections so it's easier to work our way across and take off the pieces after the cut. So let's go get this cut now. All right, so now that the cut has been made and we've broken away the sheet metal along the edge, you see, using a grinder or a cutting wheel, we have a bit of excess metal there, so we gotta file this off, clean it up because we are sliding our new piece underneath. We are almost ready to try on the front piece. Okay, so Sean zooms in here. You see we're just doing the final cleaning on our drip rail. So everything is just about ready to go. We've cleaned the hat back underneath to the 77.5. Drip rail on both sides has been cleaned and removed. We've done our final cut up at the front using our nifty tool to scribe. Sorry, big gloves, using our nifty tool. So we've cut and scribed to our final cut. So that will wrap up this episode. Next time, come back. We're gonna assemble the roof. We're gonna start putting it in, buttoning it up, not welding yet. We're gonna get everything assembled. So we're gonna use our clecos. We're gonna use lots of clamps, get everything set up and make sure it's good and square, level, and then we will start welding. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.